This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 10, and it reads, Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Kalalayamla, Allahayanawa, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach well and rule well, who taught me this truth. Peace and salutation to the Akim, the fellow laborers, the hopeful elect, pushing this truth at risk of their own lives through the four corners of the earth. To the Ak with listening and learning, Shalom. It's your brother Shema from the Pillars of Benjamin Camp here in Toronto with another lesson. And we'll read this scripture again. 2nd Ezra 15, verse 10, and it reads, Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter, right, you Israelites? Right, and where are we this day? America. Right? Israelites being a people before a place. So-called indigenous, so-called Latino, so-called Negro. I will not suffer them to dwell in the land of Egypt, right? Beginning with the elect. The elect are going to be delivered out of this thing. Right? Ultimately, the elect will be delivered out of the destruction of America the Great. But leading up to the destruction, plagues are going to hit America. Verse 11, But I'll bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, right? With plagues as before. Egypt, spiritual Sodom. This is talking about America. With plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof, right? And we see these plagues, man. Right? This came out on Zero Hedge. Amazon cancels or delays plans for at least 16 warehouses this year, right? Cutbacks, man. Why? Because the money had dry up. After spending billions doubling the size of its fulfillment network during the EMIC, Slovakia, Amazon finds itself in a perilous position, right? It's in a position of straits. In the first quarter of 2022, the e-commerce giant reported a 3.8 billion net loss after raking in an 8.1 billion profit in first quarter 2021. That includes 6 billion in added costs, the bulk of which can be traced back to that same fulfillment network. Right? Corporate giant, they got to scale back. They got to try and preserve their funds. Right? What does it read right here? Right here. Mark Wolfrat, president and founder of MWPVL, estimated reduced productivity due to overstaffing accounted for about a third of Amazon's $6 billion worth of added costs in the first quarter. But that could be the least of the company's problems. A leaked company memo viewed by Recode in June revealed the e-commerce giant could dry up its warehouse labor force by 2024. If we continue business as usual, Amazon will deplete the available labor supply in the U.S. network by 2024, the memo warned, right? And this whole place, America the Great, right? Labor shortages, right? And what are they going to have to do? They're going to have to, the next thing on deck it will be to bring in automation, right? This article right here. Another crypto lender, Vald, pauses withdrawals as market crash takes its toll, right? So this is a crypto lender. We'll just read it. Crypto lender. We'll just read the three highlights. Crypto lender Vald on Monday paused all withdrawals, trading, and deposits on its platform, and is exploring potential restructuring options. The company said, right? So you can't trade, you can't withdraw on all their platforms. Vald said it's facing financial challenges due to volatile market conditions, which has led to customers withdrawing more than $197.7 million from the platform since June the 12th. Vald is the latest victim of the cryptocurrency price plunge this year that has exposed flaws in a number of digital coin projects and business models, right? And ultimately the CBDC is what's going to be brought in by these ruling class elites. And in order to do that, they got to do away with all of this, man. Right? And ultimately the CBDC is going to lead into the Revelation 13 verse 16 on down. Right? Let's get a scripture. Right? And an example of plagues as before. What did the Most High do to ancient Egypt? Look at that account. Exodus chapter 9. We'll start at verse 1. The title is Egyptian Cattle Die. And what is this likened unto? Commodities, resources, right? These cryptocurrencies, these trading on platforms, commodities, resources, fiat currency, digital currency, right? These companies scaling back is because they're trying to preserve their dollar, preserve their funds, keep their business afloat, able to pay their workers, right? Exodus 9 verse 1, and it reads, Then the Lord, all caps, Yahawah, said unto Moses, Go in unto Pharaoh, and tell him, Thus saith Yahawah, power of the Hebrews, Let my people go, that they may serve me. For if they refuse to let them go, and will hold them still, behold, the hand of Yahawah is upon thy cattle, which is in the field, upon the horses, upon the asses, upon the camels, upon the oxen, and upon the sheep. There shall be a very grievous murrain, right? The cattle, horses, sheep, oxen. This is all their ancient Egypt's substance, their resources, their commodities. The Most High wiped it out, man. Right? The Most High wiped it out. Verse 4, And the Lord Yahawah shall sever between the cattle of Israel and the cattle of Egypt, and there shall nothing die of all that is the children of Israel. Right? There was a separation between the Israelites' substance, cattle, resources, and the Egyptian substance, cattle, resources. Right? What is that likened to today? It's only the 1/3, Salakia. It's only the elect going to make it through the times that are coming. 2/3 going to go through it along with these heathen nations. 2/3 going to go through it along with Babylon the Great, America the Great. Right? The elect is going to make it through. The elect is going to be beamed up. The elect is going to be preserved in that day. Verse 5. And the Lord Yahawah appointed a set time, saying, Tomorrow the Lord Yahawah shall do this thing in the land. And the Lord Yahawah did that thing on the morrow, and all the cattle of Egypt died. But of the cattle of the children of Israel died not one. And Pharaoh sent, and behold, there was not one of the cattle of the Israelites dead. And the heart being mind, of Pharaoh was hardened, and he did not let the people go. Right? Right, and we open with the scripture, the Most High Yahawashi will strike Egypt with plagues of before. It's talking about America. Right? America. Let's close out. Let's close out. James 5 verse 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Right? You upper crust, you rich elites. Right? These banking families. Right? Because they're the true. They're the ones that are rich in substance and commodities and fiat currency and shekels. Right? Your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten. Your riches are corrupted. How did these elites started out as crime families, man? The bourgeois family was a crime family. So their riches are corrupted, man. They were wheeling and dealing. Right? And your garments are moth-eaten. Your garments moth eaten, right? You're how you've hid yourself. You've been hidden from the world all this time, man, and the holes are now poking through in your you're being seen. Your garments are now tattered. There's holes in your garments. The world knows who you are, the diabolical madman, wicked Esau Edom, these ruling class elites. Your gold, and because when you look at a moth-eaten garment, the moths eat the garments, man. You pull them out of the cupboard. If the moth's been on, they're tattered. There's holes in them. You can see right through them. Your gold and your silver is cankered. You look at this word cankered. It's rust. And the rust of them shall be a witness against you, right? How you got your money, your blood money. The world knows. The world knows you robbed, pillaged, steal, raped, murdered, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days, right? Your treasures have been heaped together for the last days. The Most High Yahawashi is going to destroy this place, man. And you ruling class elites are going to go into slavery. Thus saith the scriptures. First round of slaves in the kingdom. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept by fraud, crieth, right? And who are the laborers? How was America the Great, Babylon the Great founded? Israelites, man. Israelite labor, slave labor, Northern Kingdom and the Southern Kingdom. Kept back by fraud. You didn't pay the Israelites for building up this kingdom. This kingdom is built up on blood. This queendom. Right? Which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Right? Sabaoth means armies. The Most High Yahawashi is hearing the cries of his elect. Scripture say this place is going to be speedy riddance. 1 hour. Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth, right? You ruling class elites. You banking families, international bankers. And been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts being minds, as in a day of slaughter. Right? You stepped on the backs of Israelites. Israel being a people before a place. You so-called indigenous, so-called Latino, so-called Negro. Right? You've lived in pleasure. Verse 6. Ye have condemned and killed the just. Who are the just? Israelites. And he doth not resist you. Right? And we can't, there's nothing Israelites can do, man. You can't resist. We're not sovereign. Right? Look at what's going on right now down there in Akron, Ohio, man. All kind of marching and picket signs, and marching for what? For the Jake that got done out, murked with 60 shots. And you think the marching and the bullhorns and the protesting, there's nothing you can do to resist this diabolical man, this devil. This is his kingdom. This is his kingdom. And the Most High Yahawashi is going to destroy it with thermonuclear intercontinental ballistic missiles. Thus saith the scriptures. Shalom.